Hey guys, this is Justin Ledford, and welcome to the Real Construction Owners Podcast. Today, we will be discussing the power of high-end masterminds and the secrets to success with Jim Rohn. He's one of the founders of GoBundance, which is a movement that's personally impacted my life in a huge way. Whether you want to learn how to win $100,000 construction contracts or contracts that are $3+ million government construction contracts, the course that I've created for you will give you the exact blueprint you need to succeed as a government contractor. It's a self-paced university, so you can complete all of this at the comfort of your home. It includes 33 lectures, a 30-day challenge for you to win a minimum of $200,000 in contracts, a comprehensive digital manual, and exclusive access to our private online university. If you're interested, I'll leave a link down below. We'd love to have you join us. Also, make sure to check out my latest book, Federal Construction Contracts Simplified, where I lay out all the details that you need to get started to winning government construction contracts for your construction business. And now let's go ahead and begin the power of high-level masterminds and the secrets to success with Tim Rhodes. Welcome to the Real Construction Owners Podcast, where we interview real construction owners and leaders within our industry that are doing big things to teach you lessons so you can overcome becoming a stressed out operator to a thriving owner. Today, we have a very special guest and a personal friend of mine, Tim Rhode, one of the founders of GoBundance and an author of an incredible book, Quitter's Manifesto. We're going to be covering some very high-level things about how he's built a dream life that most people could never imagine is possible. So you're going to want to stay tuned. Here we go. What's up, Tim? How you doing, buddy?
I am doing great. Thanks for having me on, Justin. It's been a while. I remember meeting you and Sarah, at a Hal Elrod event, probably 7, 8 years ago, and we just kind of kept in contact. And now you're a GoBundance member and you're living the dream yourself. So where do you want to take this?
And I'm so grateful for you, Tim. Like I see a lot of what I want in my life from the life you're living. You truly have built a life that most people just dream of. I mean, you have passive income, you have good health, you get to play and have fun, you get to surround yourself with high-level individuals. And I want to, before we go into the meat and potatoes of today's interview, I want to know a little bit about you. What's your story? Talk to us. Give us a roadmap of how you got to where you are today and how GoBundance got started.
Got it. Well, what's funny is when I hear all of this, it amazes me because I wish my pops was still alive. He would be very proud, I would say. So let's say I have come full circle from being the class clown, the person in your classroom. If you're listening to this, imagine that kind of person that drove you nuts during school because he was throwing spit wads at you. He wasn't paying at least attention to the teachers. My mind, I was looking at mountains and I imagined myself climbing in those mountains. I was doing everything but paying attention to what should have been the lessons I might have learned to make me normal. But because I just didn't catch it in high school. My parents split up when I was like 12 years old. I was a straight A-B student till that happened. And then everything went awry. And I barely got through high school. I never went to college. At 25 years old, I was a part-time grocery clerk painting addresses on people's curbs to buy diapers for my kids who are now your age, Justin. But I was barely getting by, and then in the One Life Fully Lived world, we talk about the fulfillment triangle, and I found where I could fit in and thrive, and that was selling real estate. It was the first time I ever put the key in the lock and that lock fit. was like my first weekend in real estate. I held an open house. I sold it. They needed to list a home. I took some buyers out. I sold them a house. I had 3 transactions my first weekend. I was like, dude, it is on. So that's a great place to start. Is kind of like, a lovable loser at 25, married, 2 kids. And I kind of woke up this weekend going, holy moly, I got this, new career, and where's this going to take me? And I started buying rentals and making great things happen. And the rest of it is kind of like a wild ride. And here I am on the other side of it all with a lot of gray hair, with a lot of wisdom. I've come a long way. So here we
I
are.
love that. That's the thing. Like when I saw you at your GoBundance retreat in Miami, I got to shake hands and get close to you. And I was like, hey, this is where I'm at in my business. And you said to me something extremely powerful. You said, Justin, you need to be the doer, not the doer. And ever since that moment, I've been on a quest to figure out how to get my business to run itself and my business just be the doer and me not doing anything anymore. And since that one comment, my business says now it's running itself. So I got to give you kudos to that, brother.
Dude, that's amazing you say that, because I'm just on this quest to become more of the door and absolutely none of the doer. And boy, is that hard for people like us who are inquisitive, hardworking, caring. We want to be in the freaking trenches. And that's not our highest and best use as a leader. We're not, we want to be powerful and shake the world. But you're learning, and what I've learned over these decades is you're so much more powerful when you allow and you care about what's right, not being right. That's the lesson right there, Dave.
Love that. So let's talk about what you have now versus what you had then, because you've been on an epic journey. You bought and sold 150 houses of your own. You sold over 2,000 homes as a real estate agent, correct me if I'm wrong. And now you have 35 different income streams. Unpack that a little bit. Give us a story.
Okay. Well, it's I'm really into multiple incarnations. I believe we're supposed to be different people at different times of our lives. And so, barely graduated high school, got into real estate, started buying properties. At 40 years old, I had 17 properties with 52 tenants. I was bringing in about 240,000 a year, living off 100,000, and selling real estate, doing some investing. And I thought, you know what? This was all fun, but I'm done with this chapter. I'm going to play a new game. I'm going to go back to who I was in high school and just drop out, if you will. So from 40 to 50, I was, if you asked, when I met Pat Hyben and David Osborne, Pat Hyben said, what do you do, Jim? I said, I ski. He said, what do you mean you ski? You can't answer and say I ski. I said, well, I bought a lot of real estate, and now I'm figuring out my next incarnation. So my mom would say, what are you doing these days, Tim? Well, I'm doing my walking in the woods. What are you talking about? Well, I'm getting quiet and I'm out in nature and I'm asking what is next for me. And over time, One Life Fully Lived, my nonprofit started, GoBundance developed, started a syndicate called DAP, David, Andrew, Pat, and Tim, where Andrew Cushman is our horse. And we're being the door, not the doer. He's the doer. We bought 20 different apartment complexes. So ever since 2008, when I sold those 17 rentals with 52 tenants right into the Cali craze, I cashed in at the top and said, now the party's on. I'm just going to enjoy the rest of my life and never worry about money again and just kind of let that take care of itself. And now I'm going to spend time helping people like Justin and helping people from all walks of life, whether you're just starting on your way, well on your way, or crushing it. I want to help everybody. I want to be like a point guard, setting up the power forward where I can put the ball in your hands and you can slam it. And all I do is help others make their world great with I don't care about money, so it just doesn't matter. What a great place to find yourself. And
Yeah, I love that. I love that. You're full of energy. You're full of life. I mean, you're, I don't know, 50 plus years old, and you're still like sprinting down mountains faster than a 30-year-old. I know you like to get your goods in the woods, and we still have yet to go on some epic adventure together. I want to go boarding, skiing, hiking with you. Let me know where and when, and I will be there, man.
It's Tahoe, March 9th through 12th, right in my neck of the woods. So, yeah.
Right on.
Or go on out.
So you basically, I'm at the point where, and there was other listeners at the point where maybe they have some real estate and the market, it was at its highest not too long ago, and it's gone down a little bit. What would you say to somebody who is trying to determine their next step in their life, their next stage in their life, their next chapter of their life? What would you tell them?
It's interesting. It's very easy for me to answer that question almost in a Monday morning quarterbacking way for somebody like yourself. I can see things from a long-term perspective. So from a 1 year, 5 year, 10-year perspective, I would say let the game come to you and don't push it, especially right now. Right now, I'm telling people who will listen, it's a great time to observe. And if you don't have to, put all your chips out right now, it's probably not a great time to do that. It's a really good time to be stacking Benjamins, getting ready for what the next few years are going to bring, because there's going to be massive opportunities. And you got to understand, Justin, I've been at this game since 1983. I bought my first property. Probably, when were you born?
4 years after that.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been in cycles from 83 to 90 going up, 90 to 97 going down, 97 to 2007 in my area going up. And that's when I cashed in. That's when I made my fortune from 97 to 2007 is what I'm telling you all to be ready for. 2003, 23, 24, 25. Maybe that's the next stop, time to be getting ready to crush it. Just so you know, from 90 to 96, I didn't buy a single property. I just held on for dear life, candidly. But from 97 to 2007, I made a lot of fur flying. I made a lot of great things happen. And one thing I did that's unusual is I tracked trends. I knew in the real estate market how many homes were on the market, how many went pending, how many sold, how many new ones came on. Every month I'd have that given to me in a graph. So I knew when to, oh my goodness, in 96, no wonder I'm not buying any real estate. And boy, am I glad I didn't buy anything in 90, because it'd be upside down right now. So
how's tracking the trends? How did that tracking trends give you intel that was beneficial to you? Because that's something I could do, and I'm curious how I could benefit from that.
Well, imagine if you would have started doing this in 2008 in your area, and then you saw every single thing that happened. It would have looked like this probably, and now you would have seen it gone over the top and be on this side, and then maybe, and I don't know where it's going to go in your area, but maybe it's going to go down a bit, and then it's going to go back up. And then if you looked at between 2023 and 2027, you'd see it. There'd be so many homes on the market now, so many homes there next year, following year. And you got to understand, I tracked this from 90 to 2007. So I saw the whole up, down. And in 97, before the market knew that things had changed, I knew I was already, because I was so in the trenches of what I was doing. It had already changed, and the what rest of the market hadn't known it yet. In 2005, I quit flipping homes because I could just see, it was kind of like in the stock market, they call it a blow off top. Things were right frothy, and it would not have made sense. Like I was buying like a home every month, and then I stopped and just got rid of what was in front of me. And then when I got rid of my last two, it was kind of like I just, ran out the gate as the dog was barking and trying to bite my ass as I went through the fence. And I never, and I, yeah.
That's awesome, man. So, there's a lot of contractors here that make good money and they just don't know where to park that money, whether it be into themselves, like joining a good mastermind like yourself, GoBundance, which has helped me tremendously with different types of deal flow, or maybe they park it in real estate and buy foreclosures and fix them up since they know construction. Shine some light on those two, personal growth versus park it in real estate.
Yeah. Well, I said, I barely graduated high school. I never went to college, but what I didn't say is I've spent, and I wish I would have kept it all, somewhere between $250,000 and $1 million on my continuing education. If you name any Jim Rohn, Tony Robbins, I went through his whole life mastery, Dale Carnegie, just every single program and event I could go to, I did. And by the way, I also met Pat Hyden and David Osborne at an event in 2004 that cost me $3,000. That's given me $10 million so far off that $3,000.
Cha-ching, cha-ching, off that.
Ching, 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 on the routine turn. So I strongly believe I still have two coaches. I'm 63, by the way. You said 50, thank you. But I'm 63 and I have two coaches to this day. I always believe in, going forward with learning and what's the next thing in front of me. So I strongly believe in that. And I also strongly believe in real estate. And I love what you said. You contractors, imagine if I wasn't the most, I couldn't do, I don't do a Hamel, I don't do anything construction wise. So you have such a big advantage over me, those listening, that you can fix it up yourself. And if somebody's telling you, it's going to be 50,000, maybe it was supposed to be 35,000, they were dogging me. I didn't know. I said, okay, 50,000, sure.
Here's the money.
Yeah, because I wasn't that astute on that piece. So I think you guys have a big advantage. However, one advantage I have that most people, whether you're contractors or realtors or whatever, one thing that I've always had is the gift of I suck. I was very good at prospecting. I was very good at listing homes. I was very good at having the contractors explain to buyers what's going on. But I wasn't going to talk to the buyers about what's going on with freaking roof or termite thing. I said, I suck. Go to the pros. And one thing you might be doing as a contractor that's not serving you well is letting somebody else do all the work. You should be prospecting. You should be getting clients. You should be watching your expenses. You should be playing the game of passive income and getting your earning potentials bigger and out of the trenches. What we're talking about is you shouldn't be the door. You shouldn't be the doer. You should be the door. And you should adopt my mentality of I suck. and so few people have that mentality. I gotta do it all by myself. Nobody could do it like me. No, you can't. They'll do it 80% of you, and then that frees you up to go do something else that you should be doing.
Yes. Thank you for saying that. I suck at, and then insert X, Y, and Z, and then say I'm good at, and then exert A, B, and C, and focus on what you're good at, and let the other people do, what you suck at. Be the doer, not the doer. Love that.
Yeah.
So,
and I want to just make damn sure you heard the things. What I didn't suck at was prospecting and listing homes right. Think of that from your contracting business. What should you be doing that's really serving you well? And what shouldn't you be doing, which is a lot of what you're doing. So most likely.
Love that, brother. I'm going to do an exercise on that today and have my team do it as well. So curious, now you're in a stage of your life where you have this season where you're having fun, you're living your best life, you've got deals flowing to you, you've got 35 different streams of passive income. That's what our audience wants to know about. What are some of these streams of income? Shine some light on that.
Let me give you a good story. In 2012, I was with my mastermind partners, David Osborne, Pat Hybet. We were doing our one sheets, and they said, "Tim, what the hell's going on? You're bringing in." I think the number was, I was bringing in like 150,000. It was costing me 180,000 to live. I hadn't been weeding my garden, and I looked up, and my garden was like not working. And as good mastermind buddies, they were like, "Tim, what are you going to do? Are you going to sell real estate? Are you going to flip homes? What are you going to do? You got to fix this." And I wanted to respect them, but I thought there's no effing way I'm ever listing and selling another home. I have this game. I do not invest myself. I will find a way to fix this. I got out in the goods in the woods, got quiet. I asked, and I thought, Andrew Cushman. He was my bet. I used to coach real estate investors. This dude's doing apartments now. What if I brought Andrew in? David can qualify for the loans. Pat and I can sell, and we can get people know us, like us, and trust us. We can sell the apartments he's getting all over the South. Why don't I just do that? He can be our doer. I'll be the door. I can still get the goods. Andrew can do all the work. I like this plan. I'm going somewhere with this. We've done 20 apartment complexes since this. I have $4 million of apartments because Andrew has done all the work, and he's ninja at what he does, trustworthy as the day is long, and is just a great partner. So I hope you guys caught what I did there is I found somebody else to do the work I don't want to do. So I can go do what I love to do, and I can look at all the things that have happened. So anyway, I think that story illustrates great. So out of those,
You've collaborated so well, and that's why it seems like you've had this success you've had. You were seeking insights, and the knowledge was downloaded to you when you are getting the goods in the woods. I do that in the river. I meditate in the river. That's where I get mine. And I have a river in my backyard. It's cold. It's in here, Costa Rica, from the mountains, the rain. And I try to be more like you, Tim. And I didn't mean to cut you off. You were about to say something.
No, I love it. I love it. And I love that, what you're saying, because that's where the source comes from. The answer is in nature. And I found that very early on and you're seeing that. And when you get quiet in nature and you ask and listen for the downloads, and then here's the important part, hold up your freaking end of those collaborations. You make darn sure whatever it is your piece is that you're rocking. And within GoBundance, in my mind, I'm the bass player that's back in the corner just playing his bass. Yep. And every now and then I get a solo. And you probably saw me on Miami. I probably have my 5 minutes. I don't want to be the one out front. I want to be out and back and just kind of observing and making sure everything's going well. But when I get my solo, I'm going to freaking rock it. I'm going to be on point for that 5 minutes, and then I'm going back.
Yeah, buddy. So back to those income streams. Most of them real estate. How does that portfolio look?
Yeah, a lot of it is Andrew's apartments, candidly now. There's nothing that I manage except my old real estate office is leased out to Enterprise Rental Car. I had a strip center property we sold last year. I had a triple net lease to AutoZone I sold last year. And candidly, I'm sitting on more cash than I've ever had in life because I'm waiting for, what's next. So, but mostly, and there's businesses. There's like 4 different businesses: GoBundance, DAP. We have a business with David, Pat, and I, where we've got like a fund within a fund and stuff. That's most of it. It's all very hands off at this point. I've had a lot of opportunities to do stuff where I could work and take time and energy and stress and aggregation. Exactly.
You're like, no, dude, I don't want to work.
No, I want to, at this point, I've done some good stuff in front of me, behind me. And the only things I want to do now, like I'm planning in January, February, I'm calling it the Ski-uary Road Trip, RHODE, and it's from half January, half February, and I'm gonna ski like 20 different places in Idaho, Montana, Canada, and just ski every day and then drive to the next place. So.
It's where I would like to come with you for like 5 to 7 of those days. I'm looking for a ski trip, and let's do it, man.
Dude, this is it.
So you play the game. You play your own game. You march to the beat of your own drum. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, I definitely do. And actually, one thing I didn't talk about is I put in a disc golf course in my hometown last year. And that was my project last year. And I crushed it. And I put my own money into it. It's in the city. I don't own it. And it was to help my community. And no one knows I did this, by the way. Nobody knows I paid for the best disc golf course designer in America to come to my town 7 times and paid for his flights and his Airbnb and his rental car and stuff. And now, last Saturday, we played a disc golf glow night. 27 people came out from my community in the dark and played disc golf, and I've created a eclectic community, within my little rural town. That's just a cool thing that I get to drive by today and see people out there playing, although it's snowing today, so I doubt. But anyway, and I started my own nonprofit, you know what I mean? These are the things you get to do when you got passive income coming in. And
That's why I love
things that you want to do.
That's why I love GoBundance, because prior to GoBundance, this allure of passive income wasn't a reality. And then once I got around guys that were bringing in $5,000, $10,000, $1 million a month and beyond that, and just shoulder to shoulder talking to them, going on trips with them, your mind begins to expand of what is possible. And that's why I wanted you on this today, because our audience, real construction owners, they need to know that I'm not trying to sell them anything. I'm just trying to put out the good vibes of what's good and what's helped me. And that's why you're here, because you're on the same good vibe trade. You just want to share the love, you want to share the goods, you want to help people get to their highest and best self.
Yeah, and it's been really fun. I'm thinking of a good friend of mine, Daniel Del Real. I don't know if you've gotten to know him yet, but he's somebody that when I was selling real estate, he was an up and coming agent in my area. He probably had a few rentals at the time, and now I got him into GoBundance like 7 years ago, and the dude has like doubled where I am financially. Like he's in his early 40s, and he's really taken all this to heart, and he he's an ex-Marine, and he's just been ninja about it all and it's kind of like the way I look at it. It's within GoBundance. We take people like you, Justin, and get the slingshot going, and we just vault you into the next stratosphere for what's your highest and best use. And Daniel is somebody that it kind of took me a while to realize, holy crap, that kid left me in the freaking dust some time ago. And I love that piece, because I have not chosen to go after the finances. I think if I wanted to play that game from when I tapped out to 2007, let's say, and really kept on that, I don't know what I'd be worth, but I absolutely put it on automatic pilot, and others haven't. You know what I mean? And I've taken it and just are running with it and seeing where they can take it. And I know we're going to have some billionaires in the truck. So it's going to be fun to watch. Yeah.
Hey, so here's the deal, man. I'm out here in Costa Rica, and what are we going to collab and get people out here, or get some GoBros out here, because there's so much fun stuff to do. There's whitewater rafting, epic whitewater rafting, surfing, tropical fruits, there's yoga, horseback riding, all kinds of cool stuff every day of the week. And it's endless summers.
That sounds amazing. I'm in.
So, with that being said, these contractors listening in, they want to know some impactful how-to stuff they can take away. And for a contractor who's trying to get past being the owner and he's trying to get past being an operator, and he wants to be the owner and not have to wear all the hats, what would you say are some processes that are applicable in any business of how they can stop being the operator and becoming the owner?
Yeah, we touched on it, and I'm hoping I'm not kicking a dead horse one too many times, but I'm going to use David Osborne and Pat Hyben as my example, because we've all kind of, David lives in Austin, Pat lives in Maryland. We get together, and let's say every 2-3 months, and we don't talk, every week and stuff like we used to back in the day, but we really watch each other and we see who we become. And I told David Osborne yesterday, and it really made his day, I think. I've been trying to get this door, not the doer part down. And I've realized, David, I don't have any better model in my world than you. And I've also seen Pat's doing the same thing. And it wasn't like we talked about this. We all were just on that same trek in different ways ourselves. And I've seen David and Matt King, I was talking to him this morning about it, and who's David's assistant, said the same thing. I've never seen somebody who's at David's age reinvent himself so much and just give up who he used to be. You got to understand, when the three of us met, we were hard charging bowls in china shops, wrecking shit because we wanted it so bad, and we were so forceful. And what we've all learned, and I hope you're all catching this, we've said it 2 or 3 times, the answer is not working harder. The answer is not getting more out of your employees. The answer is hiring great people and complimenting them and loving them and helping them grow, and then get the hell out of their way, because that's what they want. So I think that's the best advice I can give.
Man, I love it. I need to hear this. Be the door, not the doer. That's my reminder for today. So I still find myself, overseeing and double checking, but just let them do what they do.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, I'm on this quest, but I have a long way to go, and I don't think that's it's not natural to do that, but it's so much more powerful.
I love that. I find myself that if I stay uncomfortable and I'm always pushing, for growth, that's where you find your greatness. But when you get stuck in the comfort that's where you start to, lose your focus. Perfect. You get kind of depressed. Like you have to have the next thing you're going after always, right?
Yeah.
As men.
That's it. That's it. Although it can be different at different levels, or excuse me, at different ages. And I, in my mind, I don't think I have another mountain I want to climb. There's no new GoBundance or no new One Life. You know what I mean? I think and in my mind, I've been a part of 3 books. I don't want to write another book. And maybe I'll change the following year, but this next year I'm going back to where I was at 40. This next year is all about fun. I'm doing ski-uary. I'm going on disc golf odysseys all over America and the world, and just did one in Oregon, and it's just so I'm still pushing it, but for stupid shit now because I can't.
I love that. So let's finish it up with your latest and greatest, the book that you guys have just created. Talk to us about that. How did that get inspired? What's the name of it? How can people reach out to your platform, GoBundance? Shine some light on moving people forward in their best life ever.
Yeah, so we wrote the Quitter's Manifesto, quit the job you hate for the work you love. It is not a motivational book on, you can do it. It's a highly tactical book with like 10 different lessons. One is called the soul-sucking audit, for you to know how bad is it of what you're doing. And go back to 25, I loved selling real estate. At 35, it had rusted out, and at 40, I was tapped out, and that's what the book was all about. Why I quit selling real estate. And then Pat Hyben met me and asked, Tim, what do you do? I said, I ski. So I was the original quitter, if you will. He talked me into writing the book. So that's what the book's all about. It's available on Audible for all of you like me who are ADD and love to listen. The quittersmanifesto.com is quittersmanifestobook.com. You can get some tools there from it. And it's also available on Amazon, and it was published by Bigger Pockets. So, and then you can reach out to me, Tim at timrhode.com, RHODE, Tim at timrhode.com, and you can find information about our tribe GoBundance, GoBundance.com, and my nonprofit onelifefullylived.org, which is it's a great nonprofit that helps people learn the basics of life. So,
I'm glad you're the perfect person to inspire me. You've come into my life at different stages, kind of like a guardian angel. And I know that seems a little like excessive, but truth be told, I would not be living in Costa Rica, living my dreams, if it weren't for some of the things that you've sprinkled into my life. So with that being said, brother from another mother, thank you for being on the Real Construction Owners podcast, and send me some info with that ski-annuary or whatever.
Ski-uary. Ski-uary, because it's January and February, so it's ski-uary.
I'd like to fly in and get in 5, 6, 7 days with you, and then, go about my thing, go about my business. But thanks for being on the Real Construction Owners podcast today, brother.
I will send you information, and thanks for having me on. And I hope you all have an amazing day and get after it. So thanks for having me, Justin.
And contractors, listen up. If you're not in some high-end mastermind where you can get syndications, get real estate opportunities, learn from higher level producers than where you're currently at, then you need to go to GoBundance.com and learn about it. And if you do decide to sign up, mention I sent you, because I get a little reward for that. It's changed my life, and it can change yours for the better. Thanks, Tim.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Justin.
Drop me a comment below and let me know how that was. And remember to hit that subscribe button if you're interested in growing your construction business faster and learning how to double your construction company's profits using government construction contracts. I'll have that link below. I hope you join us. See you on the other side.